Scoot beat
Good,
scoot.
it's cool.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Welcome back here with Imam Kiku and Lishan and the whole Scoot beat
Okay,
team.
welcome,
Because this
welcome.
is a special day for the podcast MMA session with the Globey from
Yeah.
the DaVinci. Hello.
Hello, Globby.
Good morning, guys.
All right. So
Morning, morning.
So here we are. We discuss about short stuff on an NFT. Globy itself used to be photographer, and he's still here with the NFT version of it. So how did
Yes.
it start? By the way, man.
I think like most people our age, kind of growing up with the advent of cell phones and camera phones, coming up
Mm-hmm.
to where we went from Polaroids, when we were kids, to giant smartphones now that can take pictures that are better than anything I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it, I think, started from my curiosity when I first got my first smartphone. How to turn those pictures into something that was worthwhile, something worth
Mm-hmm.
keeping. And then as social media kind of caught on, it kind of just escalated into that. I'm an old soul. I was in high school when Facebook launched, so.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of grew up in the age of social media, and that just kind of stemmed directly into the photography thing. I picked up the bug and never lost it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Do
that's
you do you do
interesting.
you do you take photography using your smartphone, or do you use digital camera, or do you use analog camera?
Primarily, I shoot with a mirrorless camera. I use
Oh, I see.
a Canon M50 and a Sony CX9, depending on what I'm shooting, if it's landscape or if it's people. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no, there are occasions where I'll bust out the cell phone. Like tonight, we were doing the
Mm-hmm.
graduation, and
Mm-hmm.
there's no better device than the device you have on you for taking photos.
Yeah.
And they've
Yeah.
gotten so good. So yeah, no, if I'm in a pinch, I'll absolutely bust out the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and I'll go to town with that one as well.
Mhm.
Ah,
Right, right, right. And you have two cameras for each for a different occasion, right? Because I heard my brother is also a photographer, and he said that different cameras have different feel to it, right? Right,
For sure,
the
yeah,
color
absolutely.
grading and the. Mhm.
And a lot of it comes down to really what you learn on, and then what you get comfortable with. So there's a lot that can vary from camera to camera, and while I may love my M50, some people may think that that's just too budget of a camera, but a lot of my NFTs that are up right now have been shot on an M50.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
No wonder. I bought some of your NFT actually. Some your photogenic part in the few scenic. I forgot which one, but the brightness is kind of loud and clear, and it almost like uh, it isn't real, man. Like when I see it, oh, this one is so good, so I just press buy, and yeah, that's it. Uh, what kind of camera that you use, man, for that one?
For those are typically shot on the M50, and I give most of that color credit to Canon, the company who makes that camera. A lot of those
Ah,
come
okay.
out straight out of the camera with that color grading already on it. So a lot of what I do in post isn't really, trying to make it look unrealistic. It has that feel to it, you know. So a lot of the ones that give you that vibe, something that I love in those photos, because primarily before anything else, I want to share what I love, about a photo. And being able to see something like that where it does really, like, it pops out at you and it's almost like you're there. Um, that's my favorite part about it, for sure.
Ah, I see. Before we jump to the NFT part, I just want to ask about your photography type thing, like your what kind of the scenery that usually you prefer when you took the photo, basically, since every photographer have a different perspective about which one is a
Mm-hmm.
good scenery, or maybe the concept of the angle, or maybe the placement, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, sure. I'd say that's definitely nails it on the head. Perspective is everything, because I could go with someone else who likes to take photographs to the exact same place and take a picture of the exact same object, but it will still look a little bit different because of that perspective. Personally, I love two super wide angle landscape shots that are topographical in nature. So mountains, rivers, streams, things like that. The natural curves in our world, not just in the United States, or the southeastern United States, but globally. It's such a fantastic subject to capture. And so is architecture. I mean, that's really where I kind of got my roots in being a commissioned photographer, was taking commissions and photos for people of their buildings or of a building that they wanted, with that same, kind of I'm almost there but I'm not feel to them. So I'd say those are my two favorites for sure.
uh,
Nice.
that's nice point of view, by the way. uh,
Yeah.
because nowadays, like, people think like photography need with certain items, like to, like, there's happening nowadays, like 3D photography, and then they make a
Mm-hmm.
visual art based the 3D photography of the object, like they put floating and stuff. What do you think about that kind of style these days?
I mean, I think they both have their place. I think the 3D animation, that concept, and going into like the toys and the collectibles, I think that drives home a point that humans really get into, is the idea of collecting individual, unique objects. But I think they can coexist. I think there's a place for both of them, where you have the 3D objects and the 3D animation that's very detailed and very labor intensive, and you have a more classical style, like some of my photographs, where they're very much just a two-dimensional object in my picture. But you can see some of the things that we've worked on and some of the things that will come out in the future, where you can also kind of blend those styles together and create something altogether new.
I see. That's nice. Because me myself, like the 3D photography. When I look up on the TikTok, a lot of 3D photographers promote there, but some of them not put it on an NFT. So I think like you are the one, the first photographer that I saw in the DaVinci itself. So how it start to goes NFT, by the way?
Well, I like a lot of people. I think, I look first and foremost as someone who's involved in the crypto space. I look at where my investments are, and where I invest in projects is in the use cases for them. You could buy a lot of ADA or Cardano back in January for relatively cheap, but there wasn't any use case for it. There's a lot of ideas and theories and stuff like that, but there was nothing to actually do with the token other than collect it or stake it. Which is kind of what pushed me in the direction of Harmony, is because you can see through their development portals, because it's all open source, you can see that they're actively building out these projects and actively iterating it on it. So started with Viper Swap, and got involved over there, and started kind of interacting with that community, and through word of mouth, launch day rolls around for DaVinci, and so we're there day one, not really knowing what it's going to turn into or if it'll turn into anything. But the thought in my head initially is regardless of whether anything sells on this platform or not, it's cool that I'm able to share something that I'm passionate about in my private life with an entirely different community. And once the cells kind of got in and kind of got started, then it kind of evolved into a little bit more depth, if you will. That could be a viable platform for not only myself but for everyone who's coming on board now.
Nice. And I'm kind of interested because you said that the one of the things that got you interested in the Harmony community, especially in DaVinci, is the community itself. So maybe you can share to us what in your point of view what is the importance of the community in building in the NFT space, and how does the community also helps you as an artist?
Okay. If I can, I definitely would like to hit the first one second. As an artist, I think is the most important thing on that platform. Because as someone who's been in the crypto space for a while, it can be very isolating. Especially if you're just kind of investing or trying to day trade or anything like that. There's plenty of times where you can feel like you're just doing it all alone. Especially in times like the last week that we've had, where the market kind of goes crazy. You don't really have an outlet to be like, hey, my girlfriend or wife or boyfriend or whatever, significant other, your family members, well, let me vent to you about my problems in crypto, because they don't understand. So being able to have that outlet, that resource of someone who understands where you're coming from, it keeps you grounded, it keeps you sane, and kind of keeps you pointing in the right direction. Because I take the view in crypto like I do anything else. I look at everything with a 5-year plan at minimum, if not longer. So being able to keep that vision of like what we're gonna do next year and the year after that and the year after that, without getting stuck in the kind of place that we all do. We all struggle with it at some point, of not having that motivation or not having that focus. So having a community of artists who go through the same thing, I think is brilliant, and it's something that you don't see across the crypto space. It's really unique to Harmony, and it's unique to DaVinci. It's something that someone else we have in here, SirSapient and I, have worked really hard in cultivating. Is that you can come into a DaVinci chat and not only ask for help, but you can just say you need help, in your personal life, and you want someone to talk to or work through some ideas with, and there is someone there almost 24 hours a day. So getting it out to the broader NFT space, I think having your community there to support new coming artists, new entrants into the platform. We had someone come in today and released their first NFT this evening, and I was attending my niece's graduation, but I saw the notification come in that they had published their first NFT and they wanted some thoughts. I didn't really think much about it. I shot off a quick reply and was like, hey, welcome, welcome to DaVinci. We're glad to have you. I really appreciate the work. I think it's very impressive. Keep it up. If you need anything, let me know. And that person, without getting their name out there, reached out to me via direct message a few minutes later and was like, hey, I just want you to know that made my day. And that sort of impact that you don't really think about when you're doing it. It's just like, hey, I'm just, passing along a compliment. That's worth everything at the end of the day.
That's interesting.
Nice to know that. Nice to know that.
I like the way you interpret from the crypto start when you said you need the use case first of the crypto itself to use, and then you found you find the real use case in the NFT as the start, and you choose Harmony. Like that kind of correlate, to be honest. Even I also the crypto investor too. Before going to NFT, I'm also crypto trader. So I use my music hobby at first as the get away how to make another income in the crypto space, like you do actually, and then I made Scootbit to help people that still don't understand NFT uh, to the extension between their
Mm-hmm.
music creation to the copyright, a new level of
Yeah.
copywriting basically. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, what do you think? How to bring these people that like artists that don't understand the NFTs?
I mean, that's definitely getting more into what I would say is the rest of my year's plan. Which I mean, I'm happy to get into a little bit, and I kind of teased it in the DaVinci chat earlier. It was something that we talk about
Yan
tonight,
kebas-kebas dulu,
or
suaranya
this morning
masuk.
for you guys. Um,
Nanti aja kalau udah
is
Yeah.
selesai.
is I think that the Sekud beat concept brought to a larger audience in sort of an art collective where we're not beholden to a platform, we're not beholden to a token,
Mm-hmm.
but we use the resources that we understand, that we know, that we've been through. You know, the experiences of trial and error and learning what
Yeah.
works and how NFTs work and how you can get on that platform, you know, or how you can get involved in a community. I think getting those resources available in an easy to digest, easy to understand way, I think
Mm-hmm.
that's how you bring artists who never thought about NFTs into the platform. You know, we have Ian
Mm-hmm.
Gardner was a great example, an older gentleman from England who I guarantee you, if his son or grandson had not been involved in Harmony
Mm-hmm.
as a validator, would have never even
Mm-hmm.
heard the word NFT. But now you
Oh
can go
yeah.
on DaVinci and he has multiple works that have sold, you know, and generated about $1,000 worth of income for him. And that's
Mm-hmm.
the brilliance of it. We just have to figure out a way to get that out to any language, any culture, because art kind of bypasses all those barriers. You know, art is kind of what
Mm-hmm.
brings
Right.
humans together, whether it be through
Mm-hmm.
music or through photography or film. Those
Mm-hmm.
are the things that we can all agree on, no matter what language we speak. So being able to
Yeah.
translate how to do that and how to take ownership of your work, like you said, the new copyright. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, being able to sole proprietor of your success, I think that's what takes us from where we're at right now to a more sustainable future for NFTs in general. Because I don't think $69 million for an NFT. I don't think that is sustainable long term. But I do see where people like myself, people like you guys, you
Mm-hmm.
know, can stake a claim and say, hey, this is my work. This is what I've worked for. Here's what I value
Mm-hmm.
my work at. And if you like what I'm doing, here's how you can support me directly by purchasing my NFT.
I
Mm-hmm.
see.
Yeah, that's very important. That's very important also. Yeah,
Yeah.
the NFT education for the for people who don't know yet about NFT, because in Indonesia itself, I'm just sharing a little bit. I see that there are many talented artists in Indonesia, whether it's for singer, rapper, beat maker, or for visual artworks and everything. But unfortunately, because in Indonesia the art scene is not very, is not very appreciated well enough, right? So these people struggles to gain recognition, and also to be valued properly in terms of financially, for their work. So I think, and I agree with you that educating people, and bringing them to our communities is also important, so we can bring new possibilities to them, so they can be valued more. Yeah.
And also,
I agree.
yeah, and also like the NF in Indonesia itself, like the regulation about artists is not clear, even like kind of against it. So like always in the contradictive side rather than supporting it, right, Lysian?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. because you know in
Guys,
Indonesian
can
and
I add
maybe in
something to
Yeah,
Globy?
yeah, sure, sure.
yeah, sure.
Okay. Before that, thank you for the session for Scootbit and for Globy. And this is actually just based on my curiosity. So we all know about Shutterstock or Getty Image, or lately there's a new platform called Click as Snap, where we can get paid for every views for our photos. So I would like to ask about your point of view, or at least your opinion, on comparing within the Getty Images, then Shutterstock, comparing that to the NFT. So which one is more you think profitable for the future, or maybe seems kind of promising at least for any photographer right now?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and I appreciate you bringing it up. I think there is a use case for both, and coexisting is kind of my theme throughout anything that I plan on doing in the NFT space. But there's a comparison that I heard the other day that for an altcoin to be successful, it doesn't mean that Ethereum has to fail. So in your case, when we're looking at something like Getty Images, it's fantastic for professionals, but having the visibility is what you need to get paid on those per view bases. So if I were to walk into a Getty image, and just for some background for anyone who doesn't know, Getty Image is a database where you can go in and pay a fee to get a stock image of, say, a tree or a building or something like that that someone else has photographed. If you buy it, that person gets royalties every time it's used or viewed. The problem is that there is no curation for that. You know, you're stuck in the filters. You're
Okay.
stuck among tens of millions of pre-existing objects, and there's no potential for someone like you in the conversation who saw a picture that I made and was like, "Wow, I have an emotional reaction to seeing that photo or that object, and I feel like I want to own a copy of that." That's not possible with a Getty platform, you know, because
I
it's
see.
just by its very nature, it's meant to be transactional, whereas an NFT or art-centered market, not even necessarily in the NFT space, the emotions that you get from those pieces, the story of the artist, the story of how that picture or that drawing or that figure came to exist, those things are never present in a Getty image service. So I think you could definitely serve both, and both could be profitable. But if you're looking for owning your work, the ability to set your prices that you feel are fair compensation for the work you provide, I think the NFT space is that way, because again, you're not beholden or restricted to Getty Images as your boss or as your curator. In
Hey,
much the same way that I'm not beholden to DaVinci for my creations.
hey, Globey, could I add in on that real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing I also noticed is that hasn't been explored is licensing within the NFT realm, which I feel is what Getty Images is. And basically, that is just
Yes.
something that hasn't been tapped at all in the NFT market and absolutely could be explored.
I see.
And
That's all.
I'm
Just wanted to
curious
say.
about the if you saw the platform on the DaVinci NFT, you copyright your artwork or your stuff. There's like the code, like the numeric code for the blockchain, right? For your proof on, oh, that's your art inside the blockchain, basically. The problem is like a lot of people normies that outside NFT, when I explain about the NFT itself, like they keep asking, is this the code of the copyright in the blockchain of the NFT itself can be put in the legality way, like since like the note it note inside the legal itself, because even the persons like the old boomer, even
Mhm.
like my dad, I talk about him that oh now I work as the NFT seller, and he asked me like how you copyright the music like that with when it's in the blockchain, but people that not really understand the blockchain itself cannot see the legality power of it. What do you think about it basically?
I think that we kind of go back to the education transport because I think it's a very simple concept for someone like your dad to understand that if you and I have a contract, and we're going to use a smart contract in this example, but if you and I have a contract, a written agreement that says you're providing me a certain amount of money for the right to own a copy of my photograph. And we both sign it, we both agree to it, and then we send it to each other. I would say that even your father would be able to understand that that's a legally binding contract. What I think confuses people is that that's exactly what happens on blockchain. That exact transaction is recorded forever. It's visible by anyone, so it's as open and as transparent as possible. But where he might get lost is the fact that we use these big, complicated buzzwords like open consensus and contract and blockchain and crypto and transactional hash rate. So those words and the phrasing of them can confuse the everyday person. But if you just explain to, say, your dad, that I signed an agreement digitally with someone else to sell them a copy of my art, my work or my music, then I think that translates a lot easier to the everyday person.
Ah,
I
yeah, I
see. I
see.
see. That's why
It's
you
not
know.
changing the subject. It's just phrasing it in a way that a regular person who doesn't know or doesn't really care about the backstory of what's going on, just like give them the basics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think kind of
Can I
makes
ask another
sense.
question?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Uh, why do you think people are looking like photography products on NFT instead from any other platform? I mean, like there are so much platform and the famous one, but since NFT is a new thing and not all people realize that it can be used for selling digital products. So, why do you think like people coming to NFT for looking like photography products or maybe digital art and such like that?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Globy is now back online. Okay. So Globy, a question from hello. Globy, can you hear me? Hello.
Hello, Globy,
Globy.
can you hear us?
I can. I apologize.
Oh no
Ah,
no no.
alright.
Can
It's okay. It's okay.
Alright. Can you repeat the question, PA? PA2?
Oh yeah, yeah, sure, sure. So I would like to know what do you think about the reason like why people are coming to NFT in terms of the buyer are like why are they looking for digital products or photography products on NFT instead from famous platform like Shutterstock, for example.
Sure. That's another great question. I think you have really three types of people primarily, and obviously everyone's unique, so they could have something that's a little bit different. But in my experience, I've ran into three types of people in the space so far, and those are the people who want to speculate on NFTs as a investment vehicle. Those are the second type would be people who want to be involved in the community by supporting artists that are part of the community. And three, there's the collector specifically who even outside of the NFT space, enjoyed collecting either objects or photographs or collectibles. And they're able to kind of come into the NFT space and do that in a way that allows them to share what they're collecting with a much broader audience. I know I, for one, collect baseball cards for years, but I was never able to show those off to anyone really, other than my close friends. With the advent of NFTs, if I purchase a top baseball card, I'm able to share that on Lazy with millions of people if I get an exciting pull. So I think that one has the biggest legs, but I think there's room for both the other types as well. That you're not gonna find those type of people going into a Shutterstock application to license an image that way. But it's possible again to profit both ways.
I see.
Uh, by
Thank
the
you for
way,
answering, Globey.
thank you. Uh, by the way, Sistine has a question in the lobby. This one. Let me or listen read his question. Yeah. Let.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Maybe I can read the question. So Sistine asked, the first one of the most significant. Okay, we will go through the questions one by one. Okay, uh,
Sure.
one of the most significant issues for art in general is plagiarism, right? Plagiarism can either be easy or hard to spot. Does NFT code rectify that issue, and how does it rectify it?
Probably my favorite question so far. It's very much the easiest and the most difficult problem that we face in the NFT space right now. If you go past marketing and getting the message out, that's definitely the biggest issue we face. Because on the easy side, it's incredibly easy for me to jump onto a brand new platform like DaVinci that's been open for about a month, rip someone else's images from another NFT warehouse, and try to sell them as my own. The hard part comes in is that I have to be aware enough of the space as a community member or someone on the DaVinci dev team to be able to spot those things or facilitate a community that can pick those out on your behalf. We get dozens of reports every day. Sirs could probably chime in and confirm that, but we get at least a half dozen reports every day on DaVinci alone about counterfeit or plagiarism. So I think the easy solution is to instill in the community that if they see something that doesn't seem right, to report it and allow either the developers or the community leaders to handle that. The harder to implement but maybe more permanent solution would definitely be able to have some legal framework for plagiarism to be, sort of run like a copyright law, to where if you're selling someone else's work, then you could be legally liable for any damages that result from that.
Okay, okay. So it's kind of interesting because you also mentioned about copyright law, right? I would like to know, does the copyright law also acknowledge, the NFT space right now as of currently?
No, but kind of that's kind of like a lot of things in crypto. There's a lot of gray area, because copyright does give you the authority to own your work. But being able to define what a work is still a little bit of a gray area, and that's something that definitely should be addressed as NFTs mature. But right now, you're kind of still in that middle ground where there isn't exact language to protect NFT. So it's up to the platforms for right now.
Yeah, if I can jump in real quick. Basically, yeah, I was going to say that basically it's up to the platform. If you notice on any other art platform that's been existing, not on the blockchain, each platform has their own way of regulating copyright infringement, whether it's an algorithm, So, and that's what it will take in the NFT space is each of these platforms coming up with their own way of navigating the space and their own way of enforcing copyright infringement. but it can be
Okay.
enforced, absolutely. But it will be up to the platforms.
Ah,
Okay. Okay,
and
thank you very much. And the second question from Sistine is more of an example of the first question, because this is an example of the plagiarism that he is talking about. Maybe if I could share my screen first. Wait.
yeah, do it.
Okay. Entire screen.
All right,
Okay.
let's see.
If you can. Whoa. Okay. If you can see right now, can you see my stream? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So we're gonna compare we're gonna compare two songs basically that are tied together by a case of plagiarism. So this is
Uh,
the first one.
by the
Hello.
way, Rio, Lisian,
Mm-hmm.
please check, make sure the screen share can record the screen up the video on the screen, because uh, it afraid can't be listened by the others.
Okay, okay. Let me play this song first. So everyone can check whether they cannot whether they can listen to it clearly.
Yeah, I can see. I can listen it.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Okay, so this is the first one is the first one is a song by some Japanese idol group, right? So I will just play some excerpts from their ref. Okay, that's the excerpts of the first song, and then we will compare it to another song, which comes first. This song comes first before the first one. So this one also have similar, not similar again, but almost the same melodic structure actually. So do you see the similarity?
Yeah, I can hear the similarity. What about you guys?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely.
Yes, yes. So, that is the example of the plagiarism that Sistine is talking about in the first question. So, he basically asked, in the current NFT technology, can the system, detects this kind of plagiarism, which is more more subtle, because it depends on the the elements of the song itself.
So, or go ahead, Globey.
No, no, you're fine. You can go ahead and take point.
So being music related, I think the biggest thing we could all relate to is SoundCloud. And if you can remember when SoundCloud first started, anyone could sample and rip and post any music for there was it was whatever, and it was actually kind of cool for DJs because you could create your of music that was not yours and post mixes that were yours and unique. But so there was this weird gray area where SoundCloud really excelled. As it got more, as it got older, like they started implementing more copyright laws, and then it was harder to put on music that was not yours. where a lot of people recognize this was DJs who were putting together mixes who are normally not using their music, and that was where they were the artists that were first affected. So we will probably see the same thing in the NFT space. Like right now, it's just too new to implement any sort of copyright laws to follow up on it. Um, but it's just a matter of time. And so, yes, I mean, you're going to be able to deal with a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of people being able to plagiarize, and it's just because it's new territory that is hasn't. There's no one watching it, and basically, yeah, there's no one really doing that.
Okay.
Yep. I think you summarized everything I would have said, even better than I would have. I think that the big thing is because we're on the day 33 of DaVinci, most NFT platforms in general, like even the quote old ones, have only been around for about 6 to 9 months in their current iteration. So I think we'll see more platforms come online, more tools that are developed to kind of deal with that problem as we go forward. And I mean, we'll see more platforms for NFTs on Harmony besides just DaVinci. It's just the first inning of a very long game, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Just to summarize, so NFT space is still new, and we're still developing, right? This can be this like copyright law thing, and the case of plagiarism can be something that we can also work into. But what I see is the community part is actually also important, right? Because the community plays an active role too in policing this plagiarism, and reporting them to the communities, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also I want to ask a bit like currently there's NFT based music streaming platform right now like Audios in the Ethereum ecosystem, and then Radion FM in the Tezos ecosystem. They basically let you to control to decide if your song feel free to download by everyone, or uh, completely locked for the copyright reason, or maybe used for the only commercial only in audios. And also it obligate the same in the Radeon itself, but the Radeon kind of different, like you can have incentive in form of Tezos when your music stream got downloaded by someone else. So what do you think about those thing type?
Mm.
Com- yeah.
Well, I would flip the question back to you and ask you why you are not currently working on developing one of those for Harmony right now. um,
Yeah,
um,
because I don't know, because I still curious though, although Scootbit itself also release out some of our song in the audios so people can listen to it, but because NFT is still new, we start slowly which one worth to sell and share to everybody, and some of them just worth for the release for let people enjoy the moment at the time, you know what I mean.
Yeah, and to add on
no,
that, I think
absolutely.
music is probably one of the latter mediums to be introduced to the NFT in space. The digital artwork is already had a few years to cut its teeth in this market, but the music is very, very, very new.
Okay.
So it's gonna take some work. I mean, like we're just excited that we can preview it. So that just kind of shows you where we are in the evolution of things. So we and as far and and to the other side of that, I'm just as excited because that's probably the coolest thing about the crypto space is what everyone enjoys is getting in on something in the beginning. And what we can all enjoy is getting on something in the beginning, especially when it comes to music and the NFT space. So I'm with you guys. I'm really excited as to what will come from that. But that is such a new, that's a new horizon. So there's going to be issues, and I'm glad that there's a entity like you guys that are already addressing these situations, because this does need to be addressed sooner than later.
Yeah.
But we are still in such an infant stage, especially when it comes to music and NFTs.
Yeah.
Uh, I see. And Pieto have a question, but he can't using mic for now. So he asks according to three types of people or community that you mentioned earlier about why they are looking products on NFT. In your point of view, how do you see the future of NFT platform? I mean, like based on those types. This is a Pieto continuation question from the previous one.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah. No. Looking at the three types of collectors we mentioned earlier, or the three types of people who would purchase NFTs. Looking at the collector first, I think that their role as the platform evolves is going to be one of being able to find the next people, or
Mm-hmm.
in DaVinci's case, 11 it before it becomes popular, and kind of being able to dictate what the market price is, because we haven't even gotten a
Mm-hmm.
secondary market yet.
Yeah.
On DaVinci, but the secondary market is dominated by people who understand where that demand is. So I think that's their role as the platform evolves. The investment in artists, I think, is going to evolve into uh, evolve more into almost like a fan base, like a modern day rock band has, or something like Pablo Picasso
Mm-hmm.
enjoys. Not to
Mm-hmm.
compare anybody who makes NFTs to a Picasso, but in the same reverence, where you have people
Mm-hmm.
who know that person, they know who people is, and that's through his
Mm-hmm.
own work, but also because there were thousands of people before the art galleries got involved that said, "Hey, I love this guy's work, and I'm going to support him." So I think that that's going to
Mm-hmm.
continue to evolve into almost more of a community built around an artist. Um,
Okay.
and for the first one, the speculator, the person who wants to make profit on an NFT, I'm going to be really honest with you. From my point of view,
Yeah.
I don't think that that guy or that woman or that human being on the earth, no bots, please, but I think that that person is going to have the worst outcome in NFTs,
Mm-hmm.
because they don't understand the long game at that point. They look at NFTs being so expensive right now because, well,
Mm-hmm.
primarily because of gas on Ethereum. So
Mm-hmm.
we have to eventually reestablish what is the value of an NFT once the gas price comes down, or an ecosystem like Harmony kind of takes over the space. There's going to be a reckoning for a lot of people when we have to understand, like, what is the value of an NFT on its own, not because it
Mm-hmm.
costs $10,000 to bid on an NFT on Ethereum. That's why those things go for so much. So I think the speculators are going to have a very hard time in the NFT space over the coming year.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Nice.
does it
And
clear,
I'm yeah.
P2? Sorry, hope
Okay.
it clear.
Oh, so okay, that's
Okay,
interesting. Thank you.
okay,
Okay,
it's clear.
if you wanna ask more question, man, feel free. But I'm kind of interested in your saying that people who invests in NFT will need to rethink again how they're going to value NFT, and I think I like that the most because I'm kind of reminded of a video that I saw some days ago about a Banksy artwork that is sold on Sotheby auction, and then once it's sold, like the canvas paper just magically shredded itself. And I think that I think whether it's intentional or not, from Banksy, I think that's like a testament on how in conventional art market nowadays, the art is not really valued anymore based on its merit, but more on its uh on the superficiality of it. So I think based on your statement, I kind of agree, because I'm an artist too. That NFT also allowed uh, artists to be valued precisely on the merit of of their art, and not just on the superficiality, or the like the ownership history of it and whatever.
Uh, is that all?
Okay, it's that's all.
Oh,
That's all. I'm just throwing my opinion. I'm just throwing my opinion.
uh, I
Mm-mm.
thought your mic gone off for a second. Okay.
No, no, no,
Uh,
no, no, no.
okay, what do you think Lobby or Sir Sapien here can help? Uh,
Let me get to a place where I can talk. So can you repeat the question one more time? Sorry.
No. I mean, it's just my opinion. I'm just sharing my opinion that NFT,
Mhm.
you know, allows the artist to be valued precisely on the merit of their art, and not just the superficiality of it, like the ownership history, or the you know some factors that you find when you buy an art in conventional art market. Yeah, that's my opinion though. If you have more opinion about how the NFT values the artist, feel free to share also.
uh, and also, what do you guys think? Like, some NFT artists minted their NFT in more of two platform, more than one NFT platform, in sometimes in the different ecosystem to reach out their artwork and hope they can get sell in the platform A to the platform B and so on and so on. Even like a Scootbit also other than in DaVinci we have NFT also in the Hit and Run Tezos ecosystem, but in there we only sold the exclusive one, while in DaVinci we sold whole kind of bits, the exclusive one and the type bit one with the barcode, with the frame sign of the available on sale. If you guys see in the DaVinci the difference, so what do you think about it?
So I think as an artist, there is nothing wrong with using multiple platforms.
Mhm.
If you look at any other medium, you are using multiple. You'll be selling your music on every outlet. If you're a professional, most likely
Mhm.
just about every outlet you'll be selling your music on. Now,
Mhm.
when it comes to questions, the artist is: are you being true to what you're marketing as far as a one of one or five prints? And that's where it comes up to the artist. And you know, I this is a question I've already had to talk to artists about. It just being a new space. I've witnessed this. Artists
Mhm.
selling the same print on multiple outlets, and that's when I had the conversation. Well, you're selling this as a one of one, but you have it somewhere else also as a one of one, and I think that's really going to affect the artist, and their reputation.
Mhm.
Oh, so it helps the fans basically to hunt their favorite artists NFTs in one platform, and then the fans miss out in the platform A, so they try to find out in the platform B. Is that your point?
Well, okay, yeah. I mean, as a collector, I
Mhm.
would be I would be let down if I bought a piece as a one of one on a platform and
Mhm.
found out that the artist was selling that same piece as a one of one on another platform.
I see.
However, if I was buying a piece and on one platform and it was a one of one, but the artist made it known that there was a another print that existed, then it's just being transparent and like really being obvious as to how much is available. Because I feel in the NFT space, like limited availability is what is really a driving price mechanism. Rarity. So you really have to keep that in mind as artists. If that is what is of value to your art is how rare it is, then it's up to the artist to really be in control of that.
Uh,
Okay, so basically, what your point is, it affects in many ways, but more specifically about the exclusivity, of things, right? And how we
Yeah.
can, yeah, and how artist conveys that exclusivity to their fans, to their potential buyers, right?
Yeah, I think it fundamentally and translates to the integrity of the artist, and that will
Right.
absolutely affect their price. I mean, I don't think many collectors will continue to invest in artists if they're not upholding some sort of integrity to their work.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I agree. I agree. Even if I if I'm buying something, if I if they sell it as an exclusive one, and then I know that they also sell it someone else, I will be a little bit of let down
But
of
what
that
what I would like to
artist.
see in the future is
Mhm,
what again I like to parallel the music world because I think it's a little bit easier to understand how to monetize. Think about how artists will exclusively distribute their music on iTunes.
mm,
Now, in order to do that, iTunes has to pay them extra to
yeah.
exclusively distribute their work on just their platform. And so that is something that I would love to see platforms start doing is like, yo, I want you to just release on our platform. We will do what it takes to incentivize you to just release with us.
Okay.
uh,
Okay. Nice point. Nice point.
yeah.
Okay. And maybe
And
Globy have also an opinion of this about
Feedback?
art. Hello, Globy.
uh, does
Globy,
Globy
can you hear
okay?
us?
He's muting his microphone. Maybe he's kind of on
Okay, maybe
something.
he.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's on.
Nice. Hello, Globy.
There
Can
we
you hear?
go.
Can you hear us? Okay. Okay.
Yes, I can. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
So yeah. Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Okay, so we're just talking about there are some NFT artists that including us, actually that sells their NFT in more than one platforms, for example. So what do you think about it? What is your opinion about it? How does it affect the artist, or how does it affect the market? Hello, Globy, can you hear us?
Turn left.
Okay, please.
Maybe there's a connection problem, so he can't hear us clearly. Maybe I don't know. In my place also like cloudy, almost want to rainy. Maybe that's why.
Or, yeah, yeah, yeah. Or maybe Globy is changing places right now. So maybe we can um maybe we can move on with the next questions that we have right now. Maybe
uh,
for discuss, for open discussion or something. Oh, okay. Globy is back.
yeah,
Globy is back.
yeah. Maybe testing the connection. So yeah, to be honest, like in NFT space, it's kind of rare. I found like the NFT competition so far. Like
Mhm.
they apa they try to mint it the NFT for judging, and then pick the winner, and then the winner maybe get bought. Their NFT will get bought by the judges or something like that. But I saw the ViperDAO NFT competition that Globey announced couple weeks ago. I think
Mhm.
it's kind of good start for the NFT space to have a competition uh, about it. Can you tell me about it, Globey?
Yeah, and just to reiterate, I apologize. The last 15 to 20 minutes to my home is basically through the woods and over a couple hills. So my apologies for the service drop.
Uh,
No, no, it's okay. It's
okay, it's
okay.
fine.
That's dope.
Yeah, yeah, that's that's dope because I kind of wish I have a home like that.
I like being out in the middle of nowhere for all the reasons except for cell phone service.
Mhm. Oh,
Uh,
okay, yeah,
Um,
yeah, I
but
agree.
yeah, no, I think that my strong suit is, without tooting my own horn, is building relationships. And I
Mhm.
think that it's paramount for a platform like DaVinci in its early stages to be able
Mhm.
to reach out to people who wouldn't even consider minting an NFT,
Mhm.
to people who are like me in a lot of ways, who
Mhm.
have a passion, who maybe even have it outside as a profession, but who just don't consider NFTs. So being involved with Viper, we had a pretty good working relationship between myself and the community managers over there. We
Mhm.
just kind of brainstormed how we could bring our two communities closer together since we're built on harmony, and
Mhm.
that was kind of what it came from. It was a banner competition where
Mhm.
anyone who entered the competition would mint their submission on DaVinci as an NFT, and then they would
Mhm.
submit it to the competition for Venom DAO and Viper Swap, and the winner, chosen by the head developer of Viper Swap and the community managers, would have their artwork featured as
Mhm.
the banner for anyone who opens the ViperSwap Discord. And right now, that community is about 3,000 members just on the
Mhm.
ViperSwap Discord. So your visibility automatically is greater than what you would have typically on DaVinci right now. You know, we're growing
Mhm.
that community actively, but having that exposure is
Yeah.
definitely a bonus for whoever wins that competition. And it just kind of goes to show the harmonious nature, not to pun the token, but the harmonious nature of the
Mhm.
ecosystem if we work together with other brands.
Mhm.
so basically, improve the community on the NFT and the DeFi project itself. Since I know the ViperDAO is one of the biggest DeFi project in the Harmony ecosystem, right? So like a win-win solution.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think it's also interesting, like since you have that competition, engage another NFT artist to do the same, maybe either still related to the Harmony project or not at all. But yeah, I think it's a good start.
Yeah,
And
and you know, news for for visual artists here. You know, there's this competition for 5 per DAO, for 5 per DAO visual. So if you want to, if you want to join, please feel free. If you want to ask more about the details, you can just ask Globy. Okay, you can just ask Globy, or you can or if I'm not mistaken, we also post the competition details in here also, right,
yeah, in
ma'am?
our server channel also.
Yeah, in
Uh,
our server channel also.
So
Yeah, so if
basically, Scoopbit not only consists of the beat maker or the music producer. Some of them are the visual artists like Mamet here and the Has that
mhm.
join us right now. Basically, are the visual artists. So give them shout out.
Okay. Okay, Globy, can you hear us? Hear us?
Yes, yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you.
Uh,
Okay. Next question. Okay. I think I haven't addressed this. I haven't addressed this previously, but I think we can try to discuss a little bit about the recent events. So for the first one is the market dip in the crypto market, and as we know that NFT and crypto is tightly related to. Globy, what do you think is the effect of the recent market dip, and nowadays is the uh, still in the recovery uh, state of things. What is the effect of the current crypto market to the NFT right now, in your
Uh,
opinion?
well, short term, I don't really see a lot of impact on it for NFTs
Mm-hmm.
because we've already sort of entered this cooling off period for NFTs prior to the market doing the scary thing that we're not going to mention by name. We don't want to bring it back.
Okay.
But
Don't bring it back.
no, don't bring it back. I don't want to see that amount of red again. But no, no, no. I mean, we were in sort of a cooling off period for NFTs broadly because the Ethereum gas fees had become so high that it priced a lot of people out from being able to participate. We're just getting started with NFTs on Harmony within the last 30 days. So for a lot of people, they haven't been able to participate or enjoy kind of the energy that you and I and SirSapient and other members of DaVinci have because they can't afford it. And that's not to say that they're poor, but if you're having to pay $400 just to create an NFT for art, that's unattainable. Especially if you're just getting started. $500 is a month's living in some countries. That may be a month's wages for someone who might be living in China. So when you look at that, I don't think the dip is going to affect the NFT market other than the raw price of the NFT, maybe fluctuating with the value. But long term, I think it's going to lead us towards the path of more regulation, which, if done responsibly, I think we need.
I could I add on to that. In that, basically, I
Hello.
feel the art market in general
Hello, Globy.
is has been viewed as recession proof.
Okay, seems that we cut.
uh,
Breaking
Yeah.
up. I'm
all
sorry.
right.
Okay.
I'm hitting my wooded area on my trek home. So
No, I'm still here. I was just letting SirSapient talk.
Uh,
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sometimes internet connection might be misleading things.
Yeah. But I agree that ah my God, in Ethereum ecosystem, the gas fee is very high
Yeah.
for creating one NFT. And I was like shook as, and I don't know.
I was gonna say, as a investor though, or slash collector, that's what art has been the go to when the market dips. Um, because the value of the art is separate from the value of whatever the coin is. Like it has its own value. And to me personally, I was actually kind of fortunate this week. Most of my crypto assets were in NFTs, and I feel that helped me personally. And I think that could be something that people in general can start to look at, like almost as you would look at a stable coin as a separate way to invest in the crypto space that has a little bit less volatility. You can look at NFTs.
Okay.
I
Nice. So this is the first time that this is also one of the first time that we hear NFT as an investment, right, Imam?
uh,
So yeah.
for me,
So
it's
the
not the first time, see, but
mhm
uh, because I used to want to buy. become collect NFT collector in the Rarible. If you guys know Rarible in
Mhm.
Ethereum,
Mhm.
and then I just almost burn about 4 to 6 ETH just for a day because of gas fees. Can you imagine
Mhm.
that? So I think like, nah, man, this is not cool, not cool. And then I feel like I wondered, is there any option that other smart contract ecosystem that implement NFT as well, and then I need to wait about 1 or 2 year or so until I found DaVinci basically.
Nice.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
in a way, NFT is also an investment to you, Imam.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I mean, and that's something that has, there have been people that have invested in art
Mhm.
like that. That's
Mhm.
nothing new.
Mhm.
And NFT is just a new art medium. And it's,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool is that, there's the medium that is in the crypto spaces. That's what
Mhm.
it's built on, is investment. People that
Mhm.
are, you know want see a project and see the value of a project and want to invest.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree
uh,
with you. I agree with you.
yeah.
And this is especially more important
So
too
there's
for Indonesians. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, so basically, in the Indonesian, the problem with the NFT, the price enticed with the crypto coin itself, like in the DaVinci enticed to Harmony, right? Uh,
Mhm.
in
right.
even some of Indonesian like keep asking me like what if the crypto pricing in the NFT goes down because of market dips, or maybe influencing like in the bull market, what
Mhm.
happened when the artist get the payment that cash out to the fiat basically, since like maybe in the US dollar the problem is not really much because US dollar
Mhm.
is like the center of the fiat currency of the world, but as an Indonesian that use rupiah, some artists like you that enter NFT kind of grind that themselves while they wanted to convert their profit from the NFT to the fiat when the market's down, for the emergency purpose, like for living, or maybe like they want to pay the bill, something like that. What do you think about
Mhm.
this?
I,
I think personally, as someone who, and again, this is like what I'm about to say is not financial advice. It's not. It's literally just
Mhm.
what I personally do.
Mhm.
I think that, with it being so early, it's one thing, but I think it's important as an artist to secure your profit,
Mhm.
and that's not necessarily, in my case, leaving it in a cryptocurrency if I need to make sure that I'm taken care of right now, or my family's taken care of, or a bill is taken care of.
Mhm.
If I sell an
Mhm.
NFT today, like the auction I have going on right now, when it closes,
Mhm.
whatever value it closes at, I'm going to convert that Harmony One to fiat. I'm not going to leave that as an investment, because to
Mhm.
me that is a source of my income. And if I left it through this current downtrend, then you are very much correct. If it's sold for the equivalent of $100 then, and I left it in this cryptocurrency, and it's now worth $40, then I've essentially lost half of my value by not cashing
Mhm.
out. So
Mhm.
in my case, everything I sell, I cash out to fiat.
Mhm.
Could I have left it in there and hypothetically earned more money? Sure, but I, like you guys, I have a regular day job.
he's asleep. He's half asleep.
I work
Mhm.
full time, and I'm in college.
Walk over.
Finishing
Walk
up
over.
my master's
Step
degree.
over.
So,
Step over.
Mhm.
protect your house first and foremost, always.
I
Yeah,
see.
I agree. I agree. And what you said is also uh more strengthening the statement that NFT is more like an investment, right? Uh, like when you invest in something, when you invest in gold or invest in stocks, or something like that. NFT is also a form of investment. And I think this is also one of the things that we also need to educate for the market, especially for Indonesian as well, because Indonesian artists are not used, Indonesian artists, or Indonesians at large are still not very used to hearing art as an investment. So I kind of agree with you also.
And
Yeah.
to add to that, I think something that could, especially for artists, fix, I think this solution
Suara
is
hujannya
just the
masuk nanti.
implementation of stable coins
Mhm,
to the purchasing of NFTs. I've
mhm,
always looked at it through the lens of a collector, but on this discussion, I really see how this could really benefit the artist. Like when they get
mhm,
paid, knowing that their payment is a fixed amount and doesn't fluctuate
mhm,
could be really beneficial, and that could easily be done on any
mhm,
platform.
mhm. Right.
And sorry, I move out a bit because it's already rainy. I afraid the recording noise come up from the rain itself. So I
Mhm.
move inside. So
It's okay,
yeah,
man. It's okay, man.
uh, even I also told about NFT to my team. Like NFT is like investment, so hope the people who purchase your NFT, either artwork, music, etc., etc., people
Mhm,
invest in you. Hope you improve your artwork into something better and better and better. So they buy the first sample and then they wait for the next one until they found another interesting artwork from the artist, and then they buy another NFT from the same artist. Hope the artist grew more in both of the fame and the artwork skill itself. To be honest, is that
mhm,
yeah.
Yeah, I think you could see it as both that case and in my case, some of the people who've reached out to me that have purchased some of my unique one of ones
mhm,
have said that they're investing in what they think that I'm going to be able to do in this space in the future. Not necessarily even as an NFT artist, but as someone who's involved in the Harmony community.
mhm,
And that's sort of their way of saying, like, hey, almost like a tip, almost like, hey, I want a piece of your work because I believe in what you're doing and I want to help you further what you're doing. And
mhm,
I can see where that could easily be a buying motivator for a lot of people as well. Hey, I
right.
appreciate your hard work that you're doing. Let me show my
Mhm,
appreciation and also get something in return. It's not just like
mhm,
tipping in the United States where it's a
mhm,
basically expected, um, but
mhm,
it's tipping with something in return as well. So
mhm,
for me answering questions at 3 o'clock in the morning while I have two kids, working a full time job, blah 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 blah,
mhm.
running community support, all that good stuff. This is your way of saying thank you, and in return, you get one of my unique pieces of work.
Yeah,
Nice.
uh, I can see like all of our NFTs right now is like Pokemon card in the 90s, right? Like Pokemon card, the original one with the
Uh,
platinum hologram.
totally,
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah,
and
Mhm,
I hope like the next 10, 20 years where we resell it to the public, and then oh, this is something different. Oh, I know the artist, and so on and so on. So it become the value itself increase. And like the
mhm,
SirSapient said, like it's actually true. Like in the past time before NFT exists, like people buy the artwork and then they put it in a wall or something like that until moving hand, and then the price getting up. Let's say like the Mona Lisa painting, right? Before Mona Lisa painting on the museum right now, They used to be
Sure.
moving hand from the one royal family to the others, and the price increased
Mm-hmm.
until the royal family in Europe disbanded, changed the government to the republic kind of stuff, and they think, oh, maybe this is too expensive, let's put on the museum, something like that. Maybe soon there's a museum about the NFT,
Mm-hmm.
because I read the article that Hermitage, one the biggest museum in Russia, already do the NFT part for their collection, and then they sell it virtually in the their own website. I think something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, I, I mean, yes, I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. And I think also on top of that, I think what the big attraction is that the everyday person can find that 1 in a million uh, NFT that's of value. You know, like what we were talking about the Mona Lisa and passing around these like very expensive pieces. Where I think NFTs are gonna like have their place is imagine just buying a CD of a famous
Mm-hmm.
artist. Imagine buying a Michael Jackson CD 20 years ago and that
Mm-hmm.
having the same value of the NFT. You know, where it was limited edition, like you got to listen to it, enjoy it, but actually that CD held value and got more expensive every year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Yeah.
that's what we're going to see in the NFT space. You know, you're going to see more store of value in more in everyday artists, or not everyday artists, like artists on different spectrums of the price. You know, like there's gonna be $1 million artists, there's gonna be $100,000 artists, $1,000 artists, $100 artists, and then and they'll all still hold their value and if not increase. And that's probably the coolest thing
Mm-hmm.
to the NFT
Mm-hmm.
space. I think that can some potential.
I see.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So uh, I don't know, like because NFT is new, like there's so much to talk, but some of it still not really well processed inside mind, because yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because I saw like a bunch like government like want to tax this, but they forgot the system of art is always the same, like it's like a tertiary asset, like human habit like to collect things in the past and still until today. NFT is like a new part of it in the virtual world, like in the
Oh,
internet version of it.
it's very intrinsic, and, and there's nothing new about the
Mm-hmm.
idea of collecting, and
Mm-hmm.
more importantly, valuing art. You know that has not changed. And so,
Yeah.
and to me, I think that's why I think it's such a real thing, and there's value and there's longevity in it because what you described are all those attributes are still valid in the NFT space.
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
But
uh,
it does lead itself to the point that you were getting at, is that there's a lot of unanswered questions, and I think that that can give some people across the board some reservations, until we have a more clearer understanding. And I think that's a responsible way to think about things. But at the same
Totally.
time, in at least in the United States, currently the way
Mm-hmm.
the laws are written, NFTs are going to be taxed just like it would be if I bought a trading card. They're taxed as collectibles. So
Mm-hmm.
as long as you have a tax professional or someone who you work with, or you do your own taxes and do them correctly, I
Mm-hmm.
think you would treat an NFT just like you would any other collectible. Obviously, that
Mm-hmm.
varies by country. This is not financial advice. All of the disclaimers in the world.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh,
But
but
yeah, and okay, I was gonna say, and
you're
to
good.
that, I think you have the intrigue of this being such a wild wild west. I mean, if you will, it's such an uncharted territory. But I
Mm-hmm.
think there's a lot of intrigue to that because you're getting in on the front grounds of something very new that is absolutely just uncharted. That's the only way you can really
Mm-hmm.
describe it. And
Mm-hmm.
the explorer archetype is we love this kind of thing. Like to venture into the new.
Yeah.
uh, yeah. uh,
Yeah. Nice. And speaking of Wild Wild West, you
Whoa.
know, NFT as a Wild Wild West. like Globey and SirSapient, you are in the you're contributing right now in the DaVinci, you know, and that's one part of the Wild West. Okay, so we just want to know. We are curious. What's next for DaVinci? What are the plans that you all have in mind about DaVinci?
Um, in our capacity,
Yeah. In your capacity, and if if there's any plan soon for some upgrades or for some more features in the DaVinci, please share to
uh,
us.
yeah, no, sure. I mean, we know nothing more than what the devs have put
Mm,
out. So there's
mm-hmm,
there's no secret sauce. We don't know of something crazy
mm-hmm,
coming, but I think
yeah.
just with what is out there, it hasn't been
Mm-hmm,
communicated clearly. I've made
mm-hmm,
that publicly known that I
mm-hmm,
disagree with the way that the devs have handled communication. So that's kind of where me
mm-hmm,
and I'm speaking for myself here, but where myself, SirSapient, Hex, and a couple other guys have kind of stepped in and
mm-hmm,
tried to be that role of communicating what it is that's happening. Um,
mm-hmm,
but I think if you just look at the roadmap that's out there, every feature you
mm-hmm,
could ask for is going to come to DaVinci eventually. We're
mm-hmm,
looking at the rollout of a secondary market within the next week or two that is going to bring the ability to sell your NFTs that you buy on DaVinci or bring them over from
mm-hmm,
another platform and sell them on DaVinci. So you're able to take
mm-hmm,
advantage of the Harmony ecosystem, that low transaction fees, the super fast 2 second finality, um,
mm-hmm,
the rollout of the DAO, the decentralized autonomous organization for
mm-hmm,
DaVinci, the rollout of their own currency in the Vinci token. There's those things
mm-hmm,
are just not that far away. You can't put an exact date on these things because they have to be tested and tried, but
mm-hmm,
those things are coming in the very near future. So it's not like we're going to be waiting 6 months to a year to get our hands on the DAO and start
mm-hmm,
making decisions and things like that. Um,
mm-hmm,
it's coming very, very, a lot sooner than a lot of people realize. I just don't think that message has
mm-hmm,
been communicated as well as it could be.
mm-hmm.
Uh,
But yeah,
Okay.
I think to tag along on that, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, as far as I feel, what Globey and I have conversations about this, so I feel I can
Mm-hmm.
speak a little bit on his behalf. Our
Mm-hmm.
personal involvement, our goals, is really like what you're seeing. I think community. Like I think we
Mm-hmm.
really want to be at the helm of bringing this community together. I think that's probably one of the coolest
Yeah.
things DaVinci has to offer compared to the other platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Is you feel like a person, you feel like you're talking to somebody else, and like there's actual a sense of just that, like a community. So that's what
Mm-hmm.
I personally want to hone in. I know Globey as well, and not only like with the community within DaVinci, but also the next step is now like taking DaVinci as a community and interacting with other entities like what Globey's doing with Viper Swap and just with Harmony in general. So
Mm-hmm.
that I feel is going to be our focal point, is just representing the community and then helping the community interact with the rest of the network and metaverse.
uh,
Okay, nice to hear that. The community conversation and community communication right now is evolving right now in DaVinci for the better, right?
and I think like
And mhm.
sorry to cut.
No, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no.
Uh,
It's okay. It's okay.
uh, I think like NFT platform, not only the VG need have like the cross chain. So far, like only the blockchain smart contract that has a cross chain, like Harmony also have a cross chain with between the Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. But I think the NFT platform also need to do the same, like because artists always want to have more exposure, like the Sapien said, no matter how hard, how exclusive it is, but artists always want to have more exposure. I think if the NFT platform in the future have the cross chain between platform, like example, it already did in the Ethereum ecosystem. OpenSea can cross chain to the Rarible, to the mintable, min base, and so on and so forth. So it might be do the same in DaVinci in the future. What do you think, guys?
I
I
good.
think that that's not only just the idea, but that's the goal.
Yeah,
Is to
that's
use the whole platform to be the harmony that brings
Mhm.
a lot of these NFT platforms together. So those artists can publish on one platform and sell their work, wherever it may be that fits them the most, and it keeps the money.
Uh,
Hello.
I
hello?
lost you.
Yeah, we lost you, man.
I mean, I think I can follow up a
Mhm.
little bit on
Mhm.
this, but yeah, I mean, yes, I think me personally, as like Globe and I think this is something that we've had conversations about, and
Mhm.
bigger than DaVinci. I think this is what we really want to focus on is just the NFT space, NFTs in general, and harmony,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
and and being the bridge for those. Right now our focus absolutely is DaVinci, uh,
Mhm.
and that that is an awesome platform. But as we expand, I think Globey and I
Yep.
are absolutely looking bigger, and just how can we do what we're doing for just like you just said, like just not DaVinci exclusively. Like how can we help all artists, and providing those kind of features community.
Mhm.
Uh, uh,
Okay.
I think like it's already 1.5 hour we recording. That's quite fast, you know.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
feels fast like
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
discuss things.
One, one or more two questions maybe. One or more two
Yeah,
questions.
one
Yeah.
or more two
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Okay. So, Globy, we have talked about the future of DaVinci. Now we want to know if you have any future projects that you are currently working on for your NFT or for your uh for your art.
Could you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah. Do you have any future projects that you're currently working on, or like some kind of collaboration that you're currently working on?
Um, I would say that I would imagine that most people would be disappointed in me if I answer that question no. Um,
Uh-huh.
I think one thing that's been made clear from me so far is that other than a small break to sleep, I am
Mm-hmm.
really not working on something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Uh, but that
Mm-hmm.
being said, I have both projects working within DaVinci that I'm working on,
Mm-hmm.
and I have projects outside of DaVinci that I'm working on. So,
What can you
um,
talk about? What can you talk about, Globy?
uh, let's see.
Got ya.
If you don't have
Okay.
one, I've got one. Or not
Okay,
not in
okay. I
detail,
tell you
but
what.
okay.
I will give you mine if you give me the one that you're talking about.
Okay. Next month I am going to be putting on another showcase for DaVinci.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
I've got some artists, yeah, that we'll be working with, and we're doing another showcase next month.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that's gonna fire.
So that's something I've been
Next
working
month.
on.
Next
That
month.
at least I
Okay.
can indulge that much.
Next month. Okay. SirSapient has given his his next project now. It's Globy.
Yeah, yeah. Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can get. Give me one moment. I'm gonna see if I can get.
What can I talk about?
And
A little bit sneak peek here. Nice.
there we go.
Uh, I
Wait.
cannot I can't still see the slide. To be honest, only the dots.
Yeah. We're still loading here, but we're
Yeah.
very excited to know what you're
Yeah.
working on in the future.
Okay. Is the audio coming through clear now that I'm on the computer?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Uh,
Mhm.
I still waiting for the slide part, so the screen share part. Maybe because in my place still raining. Ah, yeah,
Ah,
finally.
nice.
Hey man.
Okay, connected, crystal clear.
Good deal. So I've got a couple things that we're not quite ready to talk about yet, but I can kind of go over what I see over the next, I don't know, month potentially.
Whoa. Okay, next month. Next month.
Yeah, over the next 30 days. Definitely going to see as much of me as you've seen already throughout the community. That's going to obviously continue. But we are working on doing a lot more stuff like this. Definitely from home, not from the road.
Yeah.
But definitely reaching out and doing some more networking with some other organizations and some other YouTubers. So we're working on getting some of those partnerships wrapped up. And here's my cat, just to compare from
Oh.
yours earlier.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, gotta jump in as soon as she realizes there's a camera on her. But yeah, no, we've got some great partnerships coming up with some up and coming YouTubers who have some substantial fan bases. So we're gonna be working with them. You know, we're gonna be trying to bring in some more guys, like we did with High Res for the cross promotional stuff like that. You'll be seeing a lot more of that over the next 30 days. And we'll kind of keep you guys posted with some more stuff. SirSapient and I have got some personal projects that we not quite ready to take the wraps off yet, but
Soon.
one thing I will say is that I really do want to hammer home the point that anything I do in the space, whether it's with DaVinci or Harmony at large, is 100% like my first concern is making sure that the artists that are on the platform, the artists that I've built relationships with, the artists that purchase my work or that I've purchased theirs, they have to come first. If it ever turns into a situation where the artists are not being taken care of or they're not being given their fair value, then I think we've lost our way. So anything that comes down the pipe, I think needs to make sure that it puts them first and make sure that we're protected in that way.
I think that's the biggest thing that's probably brought Globey and I together is our same views of integrity. And it's really kind of beautiful because we have different prerogatives on things. So we I don't know, we've actually found we make a rather good pair. But I think that's been the center focus that we both really agree on is integrity first and looking out for the artists and investors.
Oh, and we have a Reddit AMA coming up on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, shit.
Right.
Let's talk about that.
Reddit. Who's on Reddit here?
Well, we just launched the DaVinci Reddit this past week. It is reddit.com/DaVinci Gallery. We're just getting that started, but Rock the Blockchain, the for Harmony official, is hosting a Reddit AMA on Wednesday on the official Harmony channel, and SirSapient and I will be running the AMA for DaVinci. So that's the next thing that's coming.
Okay. Sign me in. Sign me in. Sign us in.
Here first, we haven't even announced that to the community yet.
Yeah. Can't wait the announcement share in the server too, man.
Okay,
you heard it
Wednesday.
here first.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yes, exclusive.
Wednesday, alright.
Exclusive. Wednesday. I will book
Yeah.
my time there. Okay.
Speaking of the Hi-Res, I think like Hi-Res make the hint one of the on his tweet, because I also follow his Twitter Hi-Res, and he make like the hint about the upcoming event. Maybe now it's become clearer, because you said so. The collab with the Hi-Res.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really nice. Really nice.
I like teasing things. I think that generating excitement in a community is the way to keep that community going when there's no actual news. And we've seen it a lot with Harmony, where like, oh, well, we have this big gigantic pump from January to February, and then no news comes out. There's no communication. The marketing team doesn't know what it's doing. So they're reorganizing all of that, trying to get that handled, and we just kind of go into this period where we just don't do anything. So keeping the community engaged and keeping the community excited about upcoming events, I think that's a great way, inside DaVinci specifically, while we're waiting on feature rollouts, to continue to keep the community excited through competitions and promotions and stuff like that.
I see.
Agree.
S- that's a lot of
Okay.
this sneak peek seems like.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of teaser. That's a lot of teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And maybe for the participants of this podcast, do you have any questions that you want to ask more to Sir Globey or Sir Sapient? If you want to ask more, you can ask directly in the voice channel or by chat in the Sekud Beat Skuy lobby. Oh, FDL is typing. So maybe we have some question here. Okay, FDL. Okay.
And also, if you guys don't know, the Scoot bit means Scoot in Indonesian slang, it means FOMO, you know.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we hope people FOMOing into our music basically. That's the philosophy.
I think that could go for anyone, who, especially who's getting. I think that's the thing I love about crypto, is the fact that we're having this conversation. I just now entered into May 22nd about 45 minutes ago. So you guys are now, approaching lunchtime over there for you guys. But we're still sitting here having this conversation, sharing a lot of the same ideas, even though it's separated by time zones, days, in our case, an entire ocean and a half.
Yeah.
But the art scene in the NFT space has enabled conversations like this to be possible.
Yes.
Yeah. This is what I love the most. The NFT. It's the community. It's the community, man.
and
Yeah.
and to that, in the artist realm, what I would love to see more, and we'll probably be pushing for it in my own ways, is collaborations. I just love to, in general. I just think it's a cool thing. I think it's great as an investor, because anything a collaborative project does is just that much more rare, and it's double exposure. So it's just win-win all the way around, and it's just a cool thing to see. And now that we have these two mediums that we've been talking about with the music and the digital art, I think seeing these blended together, and not necessarily one artist doing all of them, but a collaborative process with musicians mixed with digital artists, I think it's awesome. And that is something I'm really looking forward to seeing more of.
Yeah, I agree. So we can, include more, more artists that, kind of feel isolated out there. So we can grow together as well, as an artist and as a community as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
FBL is currently typing right now. Okay, come
yeah,
on, buddy.
maybe
A very long book.
yeah, maybe since waiting for the FDL typing his question. Oh, does his question coming up?
Oh no, not yet. But
It's the
that is
different
still
notif.
asking.
So
Oh.
since like Globey and SirSapient give the big sneak peek or the big hint about things stuff they're doing in the future. I also personally since I'm the founder of the Scootbeat itself. Like I also working on with a couple NFT music collab that soon will be minted. I can't tell the name yet, but hope you guys be ready soon or later when I mint it in the DaVinci. And this time only minted in the DaVinci, not minted in both DaVinci and Chit and Mang. So be ready so that yeah. This
Nice.
one
Exclusive
is
on DaVinci, guys.
yeah, this one is only the exclusive on DaVinci. So be ready.
All right.
I also have some projects currently working on with PA2 and my personal project as well. Hopefully, if my time allows it, maybe like this month I can finish for the PA for the collaboration, and next month for my personal project. So okay, here's fingers crossed. Okay, now a question from FDL. Uh, Okay, okay. This is a little bit out of topic and based on his curiosity, but where exactly the place that you're very hyped to go and take a picture to? If you yeah, because you're a photographer, you're also a photographer, right? And maybe you have some place that you cherish the most as one of the places that you think that this is the golden material for my photography.
I guess going back into the things I have coming down the pipe personally for NFTs.
Oh, okay.
The answer to that question is where I'm going next week, and I'm going to be doing a 4-day shoot at Glacier National Park in Montana. So that's going to be my next series that I drop for DaVinci, and it's going to be direct photography. It's not going to be 3D animation or trying to blending anything together. It's going to be raw photo shots from Glacier National Park in Montana. In my life bucket list for capturing photos, and I'm going to do that as a series on DaVinci exclusively. So anything I don't keep personally is going to be made into an NFT for DaVinci, and it should have been financed by the work that I've done for DaVinci. So I can't thank the NFT gods enough for what I've been able to do and prepare to do in the next coming weeks. So Montana is my holy grail, and I'm going to be hitting it within the next week or so.
Nice, nature themed photo, right? And take notes, everyone. He said series. He said series. So
And
there will be more than one NFT. More than one NFT that we can collect.
uh, I need. There's a question from the Mamets, one of our team member. Uh, th- he want to ask to both Globey and SirSapient. So if the NFT itself, about the NFT itself, suppose he hasn't touched the NFT world, will it be difficult or easy? The artist, I mean, he said.
Serge, you want to answer that first?
I'm sorry. Was he talking about new artists getting into the NFT space? I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, like I said, we are still in the beginning stages, so this is a great time. If you're talking about timing, this is absolutely the best time to get in. I mean, because there's Globey just touched on. None of this is factual. This is just assuming that Harmony is going to be a continuing growing network. That there's going to be more NFT platforms just on Harmony. So this is just the beginning. So there's definitely not late. Was there more to that question?
No, he was just asking if it was going to be difficult for someone who hadn't, really worked in the NFT space to kind of break in and get started.
So,
and I think you nailed it.
And one thing I can add in on top of that, and this is just from speaking with helping some other artists on board who are not familiar with the NFT space. One of the few things DaVinci does have going for them is their user interface, and it is pretty much all in one platform, which, judging by the other sites, is easier said than done. So that, I mean, for something that DaVinci has going for them, it is pretty easy to navigate, and for more or less, if you can purchase one and get it on a wallet, that is probably the hardest part to the whole DaVinci process. And that's just more understanding crypto in general. So yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest hurdle in general, and that's more of just getting people understanding of the crypto space in general.
Oh, okay. So it kind of circles back to the education as well, right, and the community.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and I think we're
Definitely plans to address.
yeah, and that's pretty much where Globey and I probably spend most of our time is just helping newcomers on board, and it can be a little mundane, but I see the value of it. Because let's just say like there's that's probably the hardest part, and they the amount you get back, I've noticed just helping an artist, just a few things, just problem solving, like they are, just seem so, ecstatic for the help. And I'm taken back because, like, Globy touched on as well, like I'm just doing it. It almost becomes like second nature. I'm just helping. So it's, it doesn't even cross my mind. But, when a artist like takes the time to say, wow, thank you. Like you really helped me. I'm really appreciative. Like, oh, wow, we're helping.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I think that's,
definitely. It happens fast. It really happens faster than you think. So to the question that was asked, you don't know until you try. I can definitely tell you that at least one of these wrinkles on my forehead has developed over the last 2 or 3 months, and at least one of the gray hairs hiding in the beard are responsible because of some of the trials that we've went through over this time. There'll definitely be more, but I think as long as you're resilient, you're willing to take direction when given, and then also willing to buck the trend when you need to. It's an open platform, so you're free to do whatever you want, within a means. But you have to also keep in mind, irregardless of where you live in the world, that no one got to be where they are by taking no for an answer. As like a no, you're not going to make it. You can't get on this platform. You can't do this. You can't sell an NFT. I was told prior to me ever even getting involved in it that there was no way you would ever be able to sell any of your photographs online without selling someone the photograph. I was told that dozens of times by traditional photographers, and I've sold $3,000 worth of NFTs in the last month and a half. So, I've got 2 physical ones getting ready to get shipped out tomorrow with QR codes that link to DaVinci. So to those people, I say, listen to your gut. Your gut is really wrong, and if you run into a brick wall, try running through it and see if that works first.
Yeah. Agree. Uh,
yeah, I think the crypto space brings a lot of entrepreneurial minds in general, the people that are really trying to make something for themselves. So I think we already had that like-mindedness, and so to add one more thing we have in common, like being art, like it really helps bring the community together, and we all kind of have the same like prerogative, like the same goals. I think we're all rather goal orientated. Even if it is just to get a Lambo, we all have the same goals in mind.
yeah. If you oh yeah, by the way, I want to ask to Globy itself. So if I have another upcoming maybe like a trap or a deep house beat, do you want to have one of your photograph as the cover album itself? Might be interesting,
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
because I already prepare some
Already
mini.
shooting for some
Yeah,
collaboration.
yeah, because I have bunch of mini album that are still unreleased yet, but I don't know what I wanna do with it to be honest. So maybe your photograph, your unique photography scenery kind of thing might be the good cover art for it. What do you think?
Okay.
Um, I'm open to, and I say this to you and to anyone who watches this now or watches or listens to the audio version. I am here 99% of the time, So if you have a question, if you want some advice, if you want to bounce an idea off of me, my door is always open. I'm here. I'm on Telegram. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. You guys have my Instagram too, which I don't even use in a professional sense. It's just a bunch of pictures of my.
Yeah,
We accidentally find it. We
No,
accidentally.
it's all good. I'm a normal dude. Like I'm not some crazy like Silicon Valley guy.
Okay,
It has
yeah.
nothing against those guys by any means, but like I'm just a normal guy, and I don't try to
Mhm,
hide that. Try to have a
mhm,
persona of anything other
mhm,
than
Yeah.
I am a everyday dude who figured out how to make a niche work for him,
mhm,
and for something like a collaboration on it, I would be honored
mhm,
if someone would even consider that. Based on what I just enjoy doing
mhm,
and having found an audience for that.
mhm. Yeah.
All I want to do is just help the next person figure
Mhm,
out that they can do what I'm doing and figure out how they can do it better than I'm doing it right now.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay,
You know,
so yeah.
as to also figure out how to get paid for it while I'm doing it. I
Yeah.
got paid. Oh, and,
Uh,
and,
Yeah.
and I get to feed, so.
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So do you
Okay.
hear that,
Long way of
Imam?
saying yes, I would love
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Chat him privately, and then you can to talk about more details about it.
Yeah. So we'll talk again after this. Yeah.
Okay. So, is there any more questions left?
Yeah.
Okay, so from the lobby, there's no more left. From the voice channel, okay, I think I don't know, Imam. I think that's maybe it. We
Yeah.
have talked many discussions about NFT and such for for like 2 hours or so,
Yeah.
Imam.
Almost 2 hours. Almost 2 hours.
Whoa, okay. Okay, so this is officially the longest podcast that we have
Yeah.
right now.
Because usually we did a music podcast on the weekly basis every Saturday UTC 3 a.m. time in here 10 a.m. Jakarta time. So we talk a lot about the music industries. Maybe we talk about the some NFT too, and then the approach between the local musician to the modern industries, what's going on. So if you guys
Mhm,
interested to join every Saturday, just feel free to join this voice call, Scoot Beat Skuy. We can talk about that daily basis. Things like a virtual hangout place, since pandemic,
mhm,
we cannot meet each other. Have the
mhm,
artists reach out them in virtually in our Discord. Hope they get the new reach out about their artwork or maybe their music and such. So yeah, that's
mhm,
about it.
Yeah, I would be interested in those conversations. Yeah, most of my artist background is in music, so I would love to chat with you guys about that, especially when it comes to. I'm curious. Yeah, from your standpoints, like what kind of platforms y'all use outside of the
mhm,
NFT space. We can have those
mhm,
conversations next week. But yeah, I'm down to join.
mhm. Right.
Yeah.
And we officially have outed the SirSapient has a voice. He's not just a mystery character behind a avatar.
Yeah.
First time anyone outside of conversation that I've heard his voice. So all sorts of breaking news. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, absolutely. Anybody that's tuned in, we appreciate it. I thank you guys for having us on for this
Mhm,
discussion. I think it's a necessary discussion,
mhm,
and I hope you guys keep up with it. You can follow us on social media, join the Telegram at
mhm,
DaVinci_Gallery across all social
mhm.
media platforms. I'm GlobeyNFT on everything under the sun, including papers. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, we will appreciate. Thank you very much
Thank you
for
very
the
much.
coming to
Yeah.
our first AMA
AMA.
session, bro. Like, oh my god, I'm nervous for the first time we did an AMA session. Oh my god. Okay, thank you guys for joining the room and who want to already listen to us. So I'll
Mhm.
be closing for now today. Scoot beat scoot.
It's
Let's
good.
go.
Let's go.
Later.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you
you,
very
thank
much. Thank
you.
you.